Welcome to Overdrive. I'm Peter Hills and these are my mini racing diaries. In the last episode we went testing. Now it's race weekend. Okay, well, welcome to Snetterton, folks. This is my first race for this year, and in September. It feels a bit strange, this, but we've come up here for what was it, third round of the championship, so something like rounds 5 and 6, I don't know. So most people have been testing today. Most people have had a good run. Some people have done some engine changes. Mine obviously ran lovely last week. We had a quick look at the setup this morning, but it wasn't too bad. A few engine changes going on, bit of trouble in testing with a gearbox unfortunately, but they got a spare engine so they'll get it sorted. We've got Mini 7S class as well, so it's quite a good turnout. I mean, but there's so much going on at the moment with COVID that it's difficult for people maybe to find the time to come racing. It's a pretty impressive grids we've got here today. Let's just have a walk over to the garages for a minute, shall we? See who's over here. We've got things like, you know, like, there you go, ex-Plato Vauxhall Vectra being run. Sounded absolutely fantastic out on the track. We've got a couple of the guys in the garages over here. So got Colin Peacock's MiG and Ollie Windows 7. Hey guys, how you getting on?
Good.
Going well? Good stuff. Just doing a bit for my mini racing diary, so it's trying to put something up on YouTube with Kevin.
Nice.
So
Hi everyone.
a nice little car, this one. Can't really see much there. And what we've also got at the weekend is truck racing. Got legends. A lot of them aren't here yet, but they're getting here slowly. So hopefully we can do a bit more filming later on. It's all nice and quiet right now, so thought I'd just walk around with the camera a bit. The budget's not too bad this year after really, not racing much this season. So I thought I'd treat myself, and Dunlop are here. So I just bought myself some new slicks. See how they go for tomorrow. But at least by getting these now, these older tyres will still be. There's nothing wrong with these, so I can keep these for testing. But for the moment, I'm going to get these all fitted up. For some reason, I need to. One thing we do on these tyres, we have to check the circumference, because they can be a bit all over the place. So I'll measure them now and see what they're like. Take all the stickers off, check the circumference, make sure they're looking okay, because what happens, you get, there's something called, the Americans use it a lot in their oval racing, called stagger, and the last thing I want is to if you add up too much stagger, then the car really does pull badly. So nice to check the tyres and make sure that they're the same circumference. So see, I'm quite surprised these new tyres are feeling quite light as well. So quite surprising. They've got loads of air in them, so get them down to what we want to run them at. And what we're really looking for when we're running is hot. We're looking for about 30 psi when they're hot. Okay, that's that one dropped. Let's see how much air we need to take out of this one now. Oh, loads. There you go. So they're now the same. So what I'll do now is I'll put some string on them. And just check the diameter. Right, got that one. Let's see what this one comes out as. Within 2 mil, that's really good. That's good enough for me. Ooh, what must do, future reference, is mark up where they're going. So what with these racing tyres, I can show you. So just there, that's the tyre compound. So left hand, that one goes outwards, right hand, that is on the inside. So that's my left, that's my right. That one gets marked up, left front. Yes. Within a couple of mil of each other.
What is the actual measurement?
Oh, I don't know. I've forgotten what. Yeah, I've just done them with a piece of string. I thought I had my tape measure with me, but I can't find it.
Did you pull the label off?
Yeah.
Very talcum powder.
No. Talcum powder. Who the hell carries talcum powder?
Oh.
Hey?
When I used to clean them up, when we used to get an air gun.
Yeah.
That, you drive around in there, you pick the stone up on that, and
Yeah.
scrape the tyre.
Oh,
Put a bit of
okay.
talc on it, and just on it quick.
Oh, alright.
So when I used to clean them up at home, the air gun, and then cover the whole tyre in a bit of talcum powder, and then literally as soon as you're out, it wears it off, but you don't pick the stuff up.
Yeah.
So mate, pick one stone up there, that'll stay there, that'll shoot the tyre.
Yeah.
Well, that won't damage the tyre with it?
What's that?
Very liquid, it's detergent there.
Yeah.
Wash it off the water. Just one of the things, it doesn't happen often. If you pick a stone up, carry it around, it'll shove it in.
Still there. We'll see.
So why don't you take the stick in a second? Bit of dirt dust.
That'll do. Oh, all these tricks you learn now. So, talcum powder. So I've got to carry that now when I go racing. So, to cover the labels up, and I've just realised I've done the other tyre wrong. I've labelled it wrong, so I've got to go and take the marks off and sort that over. Got me confused. Actually, say that again. I think I've even fitted the wrong tyre in the wrong place. Oh, the Muppet today. Right. Front. Yes. That'd be better. God, Bennett. See, just to prove I can't talk and work at the same time, because then I'll get confused. It's an age thing. I keep telling Kevin that. And it's just also, I mean, for people who are thinking, it's, you know, when you trying to film and go racing, sometimes they don't really make good bedfellows. You can just get a little bit, you know, you're trying to concentrate on one thing. I'm trying to think about what to say in a film, and I'm forgetting what I'm doing, which is not good. But we've got there now. Right. Right front, right rear, left and left. Ooh, there's lovely. What is the world coming to? Peter Hills has bought more new tyres. That's 6 in 5 years. That's a bit frightening, actually. Always important to torque them up, but yeah, it's a torque wrench. One click's enough. Don't need to do it again just to prove it's gone there. Just good even pull. That's it. It's done. Wonderful. That's it. New tyres for tomorrow. As I say, qualifying will be ideal. We can just use qualifying to bed them down. I can put these back on the trailer, and I've got 2 good front sets. Now's the time to tidy up. Good job. So let's see how qualifying goes. You have to do at least 3 laps to qualify for the grid. So this is a great time to just bring the car up to temperature, get some heat in those tyres, and then try and start pushing for some laps, try and improve your time, get yourself a real good grid position. So on to my best qualifying lap. Unfortunately the engine had gone off a bit, just wasn't pulling right, felt a bit flat, and I could see from my onboard lap timer that I was well off the pace. Still, track time is learning time. Still not on it, not driving as well as I could, but that will come from reviewing the data and the video later. after race 1. Very rusty, so start not bad but could be better. You can see Rob Davis in that blue Mini has an absolute flyer, and I was far too tentative in the first few corners. So towards the end of the race, my pace had massively improved. However, Rob had enough, and on regaining the track, he was all over the back of my Mini, and he made a great move up the inside of Coram. Using Rob as my guide, I tried to stick with him and to get into the scrap for a podium. I was close, but not this time. However, I did set the fastest lap on the last lap of the race. Well, day 2 of racing. Qualifying didn't go well yesterday. Wasn't quite on the speed. The car just didn't seem to want to run right. Kind of like a little misfire or something down the back straight. Got it back and thought, oh, we had a bit of a water leak. So I thought we'd check that out, and couldn't start the engine. So that's interesting. So checked the plugs, lost the plug, just nothing left of it. It was just gone. So changed that, still no spark. Oh, great. So I had to get the laptop out and got the laptop out, checked it, and crank sensor gone. So that was a bit disappointing. So we just didn't qualify as well as I'd hoped. But we was a 4th. Well, it's not a big grid, it's only 5 of us, so 2nd row for the Libras. Changed the plug, changed the lead, fired up lovely, running sweet, and then suddenly had a brilliant race. Just everything started to click. Even the first lap in the race, I was 3 seconds quicker than I had in qualifying and then testing the time before. And last lap of the race, I managed to find 5 seconds off my qualifying time, so down into the 1:15s. So really, really pleased with that. Puts me 3rd on the grid for the day. Mark Chandler, who's helping me mechanic the car this weekend, we had a good look at the in-car video, and still a few little things I'm doing, so things to think about today. More steering input, don't be so gentle, it's a race car. Harder on the brakes, don't lift off the throttle, all this kind of stuff. It's difficult, I spent 40 years on the road having been taught the advanced system, and so it's all about anticipation and maybe feathering the throttle, not having to brake, and now it's just flat on the floor, brake, back on the throttle, and away you go. So yeah, car's all ready, we're all set up. It's all sat there, just to check the track in. Hopefully we'll have a good race. So hopefully we'll put some of the footage up later. Let's hope for a good day. On to the last race on the Sunday. Far better start, but again I backed out rather than attacking, and then I felt the engine go flat again, and I was struggling to hold off or even stay with the other cars. However, I kept going even though I felt like I should really retire. fourth, a bit away from the third place scrap, and then all of a sudden I noticed a Libra parked up on the outside of Coram, so I'm now in third. Well, right, at least I'm now on the podium. I'm coming up to Agostini's, a sharp left-hand hairpin, and I noticed the lead car is now parked on the infield. I thought, crikey, can't believe this. So I'm now up to second, and even though it's not pulling as well as it should, I'll keep trying. So last few laps and I'm sitting second, trying hard as I can, but really no chance of catching a leader. However, rounded Montreal and I spot a Libra parked up on the right. I now realise I'm the last car running. So I've just inherited the lead. How fluky is that? To say I was a little chuffed at the flag would be an understatement.
Top end again. That's why they're all leading me.
Well, you come first in class.
I know, I realise. Well, I got Phil Harvey on, I just, yeah, I don't care, but she was dead dog slow again. I don't know what's going on. I bet it's eating the blood.
Come on, yeah, did you want to check it?
So that's it. Unbelievable. A very, very unexpected win. And congratulations from Ian Fraser, a very good mate. Onwards and upwards.
gone off on the top end again.
So we're just now heading home, so Snetterton to home in South Wales, 280 odd miles, and it's been yes, an eventful weekend. So I was very nervous about what was going to be happening. It's obviously where I had my big accident a couple of years ago, and I hadn't been back there since. But testing hadn't gone too bad, not quite on the pace that I'd hoped. And then we went out qualifying, and it just didn't click. Just times weren't any better, and but the car just felt flat. It really didn't want to go. Just didn't want to pick up, losing loads of speed. And we got back and pulled all the plugs, and found one plug had just destroyed itself. So I thought, oh great. So changed that, then it wouldn't start, no sparks. So we put the laptop on and had a good fettle, and found the crank sensor had just died. That was it. Just 1 minute it worked, next minute it wouldn't. So I changed that, got her up and running, and then what a difference for yesterday's race. Came home close fourth, just rusty, didn't have the racecraft, but 5 seconds quicker than I'd been in qualifying, and we were hopeful of really getting finding some more time today. Believe it or not, I actually won the class today. We had the same problems again. I felt it go flat. I just had no speed down the straight. She just wouldn't rev out. Just felt awful. And I was going to retire the car, and I thought, no, I'll just keep plugging away. And then I noticed some people dropping by the wayside, and I thought, well, I've just got to keep going. And then all of a sudden, I was, I think, fourth, and I could see them ones in the distance in third, and there's nothing I could do to catch them. The car was, I mean, she was running brilliantly on 3 cylinders, and I just couldn't get near them. And then all of a sudden I look, and there's one off, and then there's another off at another corner, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, I'm in second place now. And then came round the hairpin, and then the car that has inherited the lead is parked to the side, and I'm thinking, I don't believe it, I'm bloody what, I'm in the lead. So that's it. I just had to cruise for the next couple of laps, and took the checkered flag, and won the class. So I was well chuffed at that. I mean, it's not the way you want to win. The car was off song, but what do they say? To win, first you got to finish, and we finished. Not with a perfect car, but she did it. She got me home. So, and there's an awful lot of feeling that the 16 valves are too potent, and it's stressful, everything. But I mean, you know, this engine has run beautifully all weekend. You know, and a couple of little plug issues. I think what it is, it's you have a heat range in plugs, and we're on about a 7 at the moment, which is what the standard motorbike uses. But I think with the load we're putting on these engines in racing, you know, constantly pulling well above 7,000 RPM, they're just not hard enough. They can't take the heat and the stress. So we're going to have to maybe run an 8 or a 9. I've got a feeling we're going to have to go all the way up to 9s, and that could actually have a few little issues with starting. But I'll do some research and see what people think. I'll give John Kimmins at Specialist Components a call, see what he thinks, which way we should go on this, because you know, he's been running engines as powerful. He's just curious to see why it's done it on 2 plugs. They're Iridium plugs as well. They're not cheap. So were they my older ones? I don't know. I mean, one of the ones that definitely went was one of my newer plugs. I'm not sure. I swapped a couple of plugs over yesterday because obviously I had to replace the one that was gone. I mean, plug colour on some of the others was really good in the heat range, so it didn't look like they're getting too hot. And just maybe I've just got to, that's it, 1 year, life them, throw them away, do them again. They're just maybe these, you know, thinking they're iridium plugs, and in most road cars you run them for years and they last fine, but not for me. And it was disappointing really, because you know, I felt I was driving better today. I had a good debrief with Mark Chandler, who's kind of helping me run the car now, and it's been brilliant actually to have a mate on board who can kind of slap me and go, no, don't do that, don't do this, don't lift there. And it's been good. We watched the videos and he goes, look, you're doing it. Okay, sorry Mark. So I hope when I look at the videos today, even though the car was slower, I was at least trying to drive it as I should, you know, hard on the throttle, off the throttle, on the brake, back on the throttle, all this kind of stuff. So we'll see. So I hope you enjoy it. This is first part of my racing video diaries. On the back of how the weekend's gone, I'm hopeful now that we'll be out for Castle Combe, and that's in beginning of October, and then the final round will be Thruxton. So let's just hope October's kind to us, because I really don't fancy Thruxton, fast Thruxton in the wet. That's going to be quite awesome. But I'll sign off for now, and hopefully we'll do a bit more for the next two races.